There is no exercise for this section. I just want you to listen, receive, and reflect on what I'm about to share and how it may resonate with your own journey. I want to be vulnerable with you and share a revelation I had the other day. I reached a sort of plateau in my career a few years ago. And it has felt for some time now that no matter what I tried or how hard I tried, I couldn't seem to crest this maddening plateau. That infuriating place where you have accomplished some wonderful things, but you can feel you're on the precipice of that next level, something even greater. You just know you're ready for it. You've done everything you can to prepare yourself for it, to earn it, to position yourself strategically for it, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't, or rather it hasn't happened yet. It feels like your momentum has just stopped. And usually for reasons that have nothing to do with you. In my case, I think it was the COVID-19 pandemic. And suddenly you're looking at your future, your career, all your big, ambitious dreams, everything you've dedicated your whole life to, and feeling it all somehow slipping away from you when it feels like you just had it firmly in your grasp and you don't understand why. But if you can honestly say you gave it your all, you tried your absolute best, you did everything you could possibly think of to move things forward, if you can truly examine your actions and your choices and authentically say, I did all that was in my power and control to do, forgive yourself. People always tell us to forgive others who have hurt us, and that is very important too. Please forgive people in this industry, whether abusive teachers when you were young and vulnerable, or cruel talent representatives, or colleagues who hurt you or persecuted you, maybe even discriminated against you. Forgive them. But I want to talk now about something less focused on, which is forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself for things not working out how you had planned or hoped. Stop tormenting yourself with all the woulda, coulda, shouldas, because the truth is you don't know if you had gone down a different road, made a different choice somewhere, that would have led you to the place in your career you dreamed of. We just don't know. In fact, that other choice could have landed you in a much worse situation. All we do know is that if we have played the cards we were dealt to the very best of our ability, made the best choices we could based on what we knew and what options and resources we had, then we must forgive ourselves and release ourselves from the dark, heavy shadow of regret that may have been looming over us subconsciously whenever we reflect on how things have gone. I gotta say, this just set me free. I cannot express how this small step just lifted a weight I had been feeling that I was carrying for years, but I couldn't quite identify or name. It was this invisible ache gnawing at my soul, quietly oppressing me with unshakable feelings of guilt and shame. Like somehow it was all my fault. If I had just networked harder, if only I had just followed up with that person, if I had just handled that conversation better, if I had been less outspoken about my true opinions, if I hadn't stood up for myself when I was being mistreated and pissed off the powers that be, maybe things would have worked out differently. But I know now that is just a story I've been telling myself because somehow I just needed a tangible reason for why things didn't go my way. I just needed to understand. But I've had to accept that sometimes you will just never understand why you were passed up for that opportunity, Why the person who got it, who is clearly less talented or less accomplished or less qualified than you, got it instead of you. You probably will never know. It is just something out of your control. Put all of that down now. I want you to understand that this is just an inherent part of this business. The arts is just a highly, highly competitive field. And yes, everyone in the world, no matter their profession, has to deal with rejection. The difference with being an artist is we have to face that and metabolize it on an almost daily basis. Like athletes, we compete at a very high level, and it takes so much just to get good enough to even be in the game. And still, more often than not, we lose. It is a lot of disappointment to constantly deal with, brutal even, and it can really wear you down. I don't have a magical answer or a magical solution to change this for you. I wish I did. I can only share that when I recently forgave myself out loud for any mistakes or missteps along the way, and for not knowing what I didn't know, something released. And I was able to accept that I am where I am. Things have worked out how they done worked out. I have done my absolute best, and because I choose to walk with God, I have truly just surrendered it all to Him, and I'm trusting that He is working it all together for my good, even though I can't see exactly how right now. I have surrendered. I have accepted that I cannot control or orchestrate how everything goes in this life in general, but certainly not in my life in art. But I can control whether or not I choose to give up on myself, on my potential. My story is not over yet. Now back to you, love bug. Your story is not over yet. We are simply making peace with our previous chapters here and acknowledging that perhaps their dramatic twists and turns did not lead us to the ending we expected for that particular part of our story. But see if you can think of these previous chapters as just interesting and informative stops on your journey. And there are still many more ahead. Hopefully even more interesting. If you are here with me right now, it means you still have breath in your body and strength in your hands and endless creative possibilities in your mind. So let's keep creating. Let's keep writing our story. And let's stay open, humble, and curious about how our next chapter will unfold.